a lesson too, so you can understand. You know I like to see people having a good time. Everybody happy. Do you wanna?
The group has been great, seeing everyone's art come in, and the questions. We'll go over a lot of that. I've already pre-built a couple experiences for people, and we can also do it real time. So check the chat, and I'll give a link to the platform if you want to follow along. It's a free account, to get signed in, or I'll just give you a showcase. We'll be bringing your images into AR by the end of the session. Should actually take under a minute, but I'll give you an overview of everything and everything that's possible. So from 3D models to AI art images to gallery images to actual industrial applications, the platform can really handle the whole arc. But today we're going to be focusing on AI generated art to AR in just a couple seconds.
Cool. I'm the one that's responsible for you hearing an echo. For some reason or other, my computer is having the sound come on from other people. So what I just wanted to say was I'm so glad that we're getting a bunch of people to come to see this. And Margarita, it's good to see you. I am really excited about this because Sandhu and I have both seen demonstrations of this already, and you're going to get a chance to do it today. So I hope that you have your QR reader on your phone handy. And what I find you do is once you click on the QR code, you're going to take and turn it around so you can see it on the floor. And then you'll be able to actually see the thing in the room. So if we're going to do a flat piece of art, you can project it up on the wall. You'll see one of my dinosaurs is actually 3D, and you can pinch the picture on your phone to make it smaller. Because when it comes in, it's coming in life size, and you're looking at the belly up here like this, and so you can pinch it and bring it down in size, and you can travel around it. So it's just some really cool things, and I'd like to, Sandhu, you want to add some thoughts? I'm going to turn my mic off so you can talk. Okay.
No, yeah. It's pretty cool. We finally have our first live event. Usually on my side, I'm presenting the news, the innovation, obviously 3D, which I'm super excited about it. So today we have the chance to see what other stuff we can do with 3D. Augmented reality, it's only one of them. But there are lots of applications. That's the future. That means QR codes, ARs. I think people should expect more on that area. Around the world, actually, they are used it very frequently, especially in Asia. Surprisingly, here, not so much. But I think people will get familiar with that. And again, on the news, we can touch on other stuff related to 3D. After my event yesterday, I found out also Midjourney released their Slash tune. Which is actually a style kind of choose from different proposed images. In my opinion, it's more like multiple seed kind of version, but definitely back to what we said, customizing. So we see AI right now kind of tailoring toward the user needs, and that's the right thing. And with AR, Brent, go ahead. I'm almost sure same thing on your side. We tailor the clients, so it's super cool.
Mm. Yeah, the world is open at this point, and imagination is at our fingertips. I like to say it's really a time of Imagineers at this point, and we can bring our vision to form with all of these tools. We don't have to be a technician per se. We could learn to be, but there's so many tools that help us bring our vision to life just in an instant. I'm going to be jumping back and forth really quick because I have to admit someone else in. Al, you had mentioned about orienting people to augmented reality. And so I'll just give an overview of the platform as also at the same time, how to orient objects in your space. Sorry, I'm going back and forth.
Yes, and one of the things that I think we ought to mention too is, depending on your phone and the age of your phone and stuff, some people may find there's a little bit of difficulty in seeing things. That's more a matter of your equipment. Hopefully, we're not going to have a problem. But we did want to mention that if things aren't working exactly right, it may be because of your equipment, not because of what we're projecting here.
Yes, and both and. The platform, we're working out all the bugs. We have a couple little things we'll occasionally catch. Primarily server issues of where the files. We're doing a new server update, but we do work with, like, my workhorse is an 11 Pro. You don't need an updated phone. It does work on iPhone 9s as well. And one thing we've done with the platform, just to give you a sense, is create a solution that is cross-device compatible, desktop, web AR, Android, as well as iOS, and make it incredibly simple. I'll even show you on the back end here. Incredibly simple to build an AR experience for yourself. And I'll go into that in a second. This is the tutorial cube. And so, Al, you had mentioned about placing things, and augmented reality is looking for different kinds of anchors to place a 3D asset in your space using spatial computing. And it does that using your phone as a portal and LiDAR to actually, map the place, the space. And then it's looking for a ground anchor. We can do other types of anchors, like a wall anchor or a face anchor, but a lot of my scenes will be built as ground anchors. And so, as you mentioned, when you load the AR experience, Apple will tell you to look all around, like move your phone, look all around. Don't do that. Take your phone and actually point it right at the ground, and then slowly look up, and you'll feel a little haptic click. It's looking for the ground. Now, we can build these out to place the asset wherever we want according to the ground anchor. Al, you mentioned that your T-Rex is really big right in front of you. You're looking at the belly. That's because I just brought the model in just as a default mode, and I didn't place it in the overall scene quite yet. But we could place him 6 meters out and a specific size, as an example. So how you handle that with anything you see is just pinch or zoom to scale, or minimize, or make smaller. We built a tutorial cube, here, that will show you how to build these cubes as well. It's just kind of one practical application. You can take 2 fingers and rotate an image, or you can walk around it. You can take 1 finger and drag it to the distance. And so that's one way to place specifically, we're looking at art. You would look at a wall, orient at the ground. It will place the plane in front of you. And then you can take 1 finger and drag it into the depth of space, and then expand it to make it big. And if you wanted to bring it up, let's see, if you wanted to bring it up higher on a wall, you would take 2 fingers and actually just drag up, and it will bring it up in the space. A lot of this will become relevant, as we get into here, but this is an example. So that's 2-finger drag up. Let's see, let's get into expand. Here's scale down, or pinch up. There's 1-finger move. These are examples. Now, this is what we've built out, and it's a simple solution. Let me refresh this page. So I just refreshed it to put it in its correct orientation. What the platform builds out is a simple solution with a single experience up top that has a launching pad in the middle QR code. You can also send someone a hyperlink and it will go to this experience. But if you scan the QR code, it will bring the AR experience up in your space. If you have an Android, it'll bring up the proper file. If you have an iPhone, it'll bring up the proper file. And if you do it from the desktop, you'll have a web AR experience like this. So for e-commerce, if I had an e-commerce site and I wanted an image of a couch currently to go to an augmented reality experience, you could have the image to the AR so that when you click on the image, let's say of Ethan Allen's couch, and I'll show you that example in the future, click on the couch, it goes to an AR experience. But I don't want to have to interrupt your tech stack, and so you can bring them to the AR experience, and then we have an embedded call to action that's programmable that you can actually click on to go to purchase the couch or schedule a consultation or buy your art, whatever it may be. And all of that's programmable. I'll jump back and forth, for a second, and kind of show you the back end of the platform of what that experience looks like.
Brent, do you have any more people waiting to come in?
I think I just grabbed them. Everyone's in. So we can upload an image or a preview image, and we'll get into the automation in a second, which is really helpful for AR art. Okay, I got to learn the difference between someone coming in and a message. Here's the 3D model, which for Androids is a GLB. And I'll teach and show, the file translations and how to build these out in Blender and how to build all this out. USDZ is for iPhone. And then we have HDR images, which if you're familiar with a skybox image, it'll put this in a theater, if you will, or an environment. And then simply, if you want to just enable some web AR options like Al, your dinosaur, we can try that. We'll just zoom out, and it will add the code needed to actually zoom out a little bit. Or sometimes you're like, I like this, but I want to rotate it 45 degrees. We got that simply enabled right here. Let's rotate right, rotate left. For everyone here, it's going to be as simple as dragging it in, and then you'll fill out the title, what you want to call it, and then click publish. And let someone else in. So let's see.
Brent, on the call, on the comments on the side, people are making several comments. So Guido said on the Android doesn't work. Also, Ren was asking, when you scan the code, it is taking to a place where you need to buy something, pay for the QR code. From what I understand, actually, it's supposed to open only the platform. Based on that, you can create your own thing. So maybe you can clarify that a little bit.
Sure, I'll do it myself. It should go right to the experience. And so if we want to open up the QR code, I'll scan this one. This is one we did for recently for
Yes, this one is working. I think that first one with the demo was the problem, Brent. Okay, so this one's working fine.
Perfectly. Thank you so much. We're finding, as I've mentioned, we're doing a server translation, and so we are catching a couple QA bugs kind of across the. But the tutorial cube is a pretty important one, so thanks for catching that bug. Apologize for that. This is an example of someone's art. Referencing your name, Gowana. Let me actually check. So I want to actually reference the person's name. First person to send things, Gagwa, in our group. First person to send something on LinkedIn yesterday. Sent a couple images, and so I brought this into a similar tutorial queue. And these are individual images as planes, built then in the cube format, if you will. And then let's look at a couple others. There's so under here's your orb. 1 second. Sorry, I'm going back and forth. I have to let someone else in. Next time I should figure out how to make someone else an admin so that we can invite people in. This is one of our groups. So.
Right. So everybody can see. Basically, you can take an image. Obviously, you can take also 3D. We'll get there. And you can place it on the plane, as you said. You know, if you want to have it another tag reference, obviously you can put it on the wall. You can put it if our glass is in the face of a person, so you can see it. But the point is, the asset which you have, you can upload it in the platform AI Hero, and from there, with QR code or with the hyperlink, you can open that asset, saying it's an image, and you can actually see it and present it to people. No?
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll get into the 3D mesh as well in a second. Let me build one of these out as well, just kind of show what the process looks like. So you do a lot of this in Blender. We can talk about the different tools from Tinkercad to Blender, whatever your building platform is. I've tried to automate a lot of this because it just makes it a lot easier to teach. And you can do this on the back end with code and script, but upload a simple image and then clicking on convert to AR, it's going to take this JPEG or PNG and automatically convert it to a GLB file for you to use. And now this one's ready to go. And so I can click test. I want to change the call to action or where the button is going to go. This isn't really important. This is a functional button that you can use for your business or your clients. Your AR experience with an embedded call to action actually leads them to functional actions for your business. This is sign up for a consultation, purchase a product, whatever you can think of, any URL that you want. This could be a Google form. This could be a link, anything. This is what the button is going to say. And then simply save. Here's the new experience. Let me go in and let someone else in.
Brent, can you scroll up a little bit so people can see the QR code and they can scan it with their phones?
Yeah. Yep. At all times, please let me know if we want to slow down and show which one one by one.
Yeah, so for everybody who wants to make a trial, you can take your phone and pretty much go on the picture mode and put it toward this QR code, and it's gonna go toward that link which Brent presented, and after that, in front of you on the table or whatever you prefer, you need to identify that space, and it's gonna open that. In this case, it's an image, so it's gonna open the image.
I'll go through another one. We have a couple of examples for you. Difference between an image, which is a great image, by the way. So this is one of Al's series he did in the past. He has these 3D modeled as well. But this is an example of an image. It could be used for a storybook. It could be used, a Python cutout. And then also I'll go to the 3D model of that same one.
But Brent, if you stay on the dinosaur for a second, so
yes,
when you have an image, you notice this dinosaur is got actually a mask on it, so the field or the background is actually transparent. The format of the image, I'll let me know, but I believe must be PNG with transparencies on the back, correct? And that allows you to see only the image which has got pixels on it, and those which are with transparent value basically will be transparent. So therefore, the image itself, yes, it's a square image with a mask on it. And when you look to the image, you'll see only those which got values for the pixel. So therefore, you see only the dinosaur. But as a picture, it's actually a square picture probably. And the mask, it's got transparency on the side. Is that how it's done, Brent?
That's exactly it. And there's a couple of things to that. So I've solved for a couple of things in the platform. A JPEG, if you look at a portrait and you have something on the left, car on the left, JPEG, if you flip on the opposite side, will still have that car on the left. So it looks like your print is on the other side, printed the same way. A PNG was difficult to solve, but when we did, it looks more like a cookie cutter. And so, just like you said, it has a transparent background all around. But if I were to flip that, the dinosaur would look like it's over here and wouldn't overlay correctly. And so in solving that in Blender, we've actually made PNGs that look like a straight cutout. It's two-sided. And so this is some of the automation. It just makes it really easy on the platform to do. I'll show the difference between this and a PNG and a JPEG as an example. Well, we'll do another PNG. I like this AI Norman Rockwell that Val did as well. See, it looks more like a cookie cutter. Versus, well, this one has symmetry, so it's difficult to see. But there's no cookie cutter.
You can put on the camera above. You can take one of the camera. I think the second one is an image, and you can see when you flip it around.
You want to sit down and look at that one?
No, I'm saying on the camera, which I have it, the one of the first images.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
So not the first one, the second one. I think you can show that. So what is important is basically also the format. So that we kind of talk three things here. One is the format of the image itself, PNG versus JPEG. But the other thing is in Blender, you can actually make that as a map. So that will be the third option. And over there, you have actually a plane to which you project the thing, and it's actually a 3D object. Now, this is a 3D, but this is a tricky one. What we did, we took that image and we put it on a CSM, Common Sense Machine, and they provide us a 3D low mesh object. So this is actually a 3D object to which the texture was projected on the object. So it looked like a box, again, a little bit bumpy, and the maps, the texture came from the AI image. So it's the same picture as you see it in the previous one, but it was projected in a 3D mesh. If we take that texture out, actually the 3D mesh looks really ugly. It's not really like this, but again, just to have some idea on the capabilities, we can do images, or we can take that image, project it on a third party solution, which gives you a 3D object as a mesh, or you can build it by yourself in Blender, whatever. And this is what Al has as an example, really cool. The dinosaur, if you scan that, you can play with it and have have fun with some T-Rex, I guess.
And this is a 3D model as compared to the AI mesh, tool. And it's probably like early days, Mid-Journey, 0.1 before like last December, or it's early days, but it's coming, the image to mesh. We also have that built in to the platform at this point under pop-ups.
Yeah. Brent,
And
some
so
people ask if we can zoom in the 3D model, in and out, so we can show the pinch and zoom in, zoom out. And also another question is if we can personalize the QR code, which the answer is yes. But it's not really a logo. The QR code, if you look to the QR code, usually it's got those three boxes, bottom left, top left, and top right. Typically, that's the first initialization for a QR code. What you can do, you can take a QR code, and there are softwares. I actually posted also on LinkedIn how to do it. There are software which you can blend an image with a QR code, and you're gonna have a QR code kind of image. Still is a QR code, still looks like an image, but again, it's a little bit more personalized. I'm not sure if you can add that particular one here. Maybe Brent, can you not have an automatic QR code? You can put your own on your platform.
So the way to do that would be to take your URL. There's a couple different things, you know, so that people don't have to have their own QR code generator and QR code. This will automatically create a QR reference code that goes to the URL. And so this URL, you could create your own QR code or use QR code generator, and then make one that just goes to this. Or you could take this QR code and bring it to your desktop, and then, you know, bring it into any of the QR code Stable Diffusion art generators and manipulate it from there.
Yeah, you do it like 2 steps: QR code to QR code, and after that to the model. Basically, you hide your QR code. In other words, you can do that. Yes.
Yeah.
Other questions which they are here. If we can do an animation, obviously you can see it. Now it's a little bit tricky. Depends how you want to do it. You can import a animated GIF, so that, or GIF. I'm not sure exactly what's the right pronunciation. I heard people saying GIF or GIF,
Right.
but in principle, you can do that. So that's kind of an animated, but it's a sequence of images which are changing in time every 0.5 seconds, 0.3 seconds, whatever. It's in the setup of animated GIF. Now, if you want to do an animated GIF, there are a ton of online free options. You just type on Google animated GIF, and you can have the first or 2 or 3 there, okay? Typically, you just put all those images which you want to animate, image number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on, and you put it in the platform, and after that, you set up the time, you know, so every image is changed after 0.2 or 0.3 seconds, or default, I think, is 0.5 seconds. Depends what platform we use, of course. And after that, you have this animated GIF. The animated GIF is a large format as a file size. So you need to pay attention to that as well, because if you want those QR codes and you want somebody to load it, the size of that file matter. And of course, if it's a 3D file, the size probably is bigger. And if it's an image, could be also bigger as well if you have high resolution. So you need to do some optimizations. That's the point which we want to highlight here. Brent,
Yeah. So a couple different things, you know, with that. These are animated 3D models. And so doing the GIF is a little bit difficult, you know. Are you talking about wanting to create an AR experience of a GIF, or are you talking about animating a 3D model?
Well, I'm looking on the comments here. So there are a few. So Eric is asking, can animation be added? I'm not sure exactly what kind of animation. Maybe Eric, you can specify. Lance also asked how you make the image move while you are still able to pivot the image. Guido also said, I use a program for personalizing the QR code, put the dynamic URL and monitoring access to visit generated. I guess that's fine, of course. Also, Lance asked if you need to create all images separate. So, and Sherry asked if need to use runway. I'm not sure if you can do runway because that could be on the video. In principle, you can. It's basically the file. And another technical question. You see the comments on the side? You see the message?
No, I'm presenting, so I can't get both at the same time.
Yeah, no, okay, I'll read it for you. I have it open.
Yeah,
So
I'm not reading the comments because I'm inviting people in and presenting, and I can't. Yeah, totally.
Cool.
But these are. Let me go one by one then. The animations. You can animate a 3D model and include animation. You can also bring that GLB or that animated GLB, which is a model with a keyframe animation to it. As an example, a cube just spins. This avatar has raises its arms. It was originally built in as a T-pose, scanned one in, Warren from University of Tennessee, and then we rigged him with Mixamo animation, and now he's presenting for Kraken Wings as an example. So you can bring animation in. You saw ET, begin to say hi. Show a number of. From there, you can bring it into Reality Composer, where you can bring out an entire theater with iOS experience. So I like to say that an Android is a single animated GLB or one actor doing one animation, whereas iPhone, you can bring it into Reality Composer and build out an entire theater, interact with hooks, and have multiple actors inside of that theater. And we'll show all of that in AR Hero Academy, and I'll teach you how to do all this, if you'd like. But it's just one by one by one that we'll build on top of this knowledge. Simplest, what I call the white belt, is just bring an image in, click on Convert to AR, and you have an image that you can put up on a wall in AR. From there, maybe build out a cube, which is 6 images, 4 planes. And I'll teach you, there's a model that you can just import your images in and things like that. As far as UI, pinch to make it smaller, expand to make it bigger, and you can take one finger and push it out in space to drag it out in space. And you can take 2 fingers, and it's a little bit difficult if a model is too far out, just twist it, bring it close to you, and then you can take 2 fingers and twist it. You can also walk around it. And Sandra, was there one other question about similar to that? Was it Lance that you have that was about how to interact with it? Okay.
Correct. Lance, Lance asked, do you need to create all the images separately when you have the animation? I think when we discussed about the animation. Lance, you can ask, you can unmute and ask, of course, up to you.
I didn't want to interrupt, Sandy.
Hi. No, cool. Really cool stuff. Definitely really cool stuff. There are a few more questions, Brent, here. So how many mesh extensions of the mesh supports? They ask for FBS, 3DS, any other. I mean, I know there are many other, but I'll let you answer to this one.
So I primarily focus on GLB and USDZ and Reality files. We can make conversions. We can get to file formats from any file formats you have, and so we just kind of work towards it. If you have an OBJ, I'll go over this. An OBJ and an STL are primarily just the models and just the mesh. If you have an FBX or a GLB, and this is, on these, this is kind of how I see it. FBX and GLB will have the mesh as well as the material, as well as animation. If you're working in architecture and you have various files, just contact and we'll work out the workflow to get the files in the right format with you. We have the platform that is yourself. And then we also do have a do it with you and a do it for you. If you're like, we've got an idea, but we have no idea how to get this off the ground, just come talk with us. If you say, we have all of these models in our archive, like Al's got 30 years of our pantheon of amazing models. But that would be like a do it with you, because a lot of those models, part of my experience, when I got them, they were like 250 megabyte large mesh files ready for 2000 video rendering, and they don't need to be that big for AR. And so we can go in and reskin and retexture and really optimize those files. I got the 250 megabyte T-Rex down to I think 5 megabytes just by optimizing the material layers correct. Use a JPEG instead of a PNG. It'll save you space in your model. Lots of little tricks to really get that file format down, because AR doesn't have to be as high fidelity as you'd think. You can get the same exact experience with really good detail in that 5 megabyte to 15 megabyte range.
Hey, Brent, I had a.
Yeah, go ahead.
You were showing us like the different things you could do. Do you have like a visual of those specific, shall we say, commands or gestures? The gestures. So, because I know it's different. Like, if you have that, because I know with gestures you can sometimes take 2 fingers and swipe and that do something. So you were doing something like this. Do you have those gestures like in a list so that we could, so in case we forget about them?
I do, and I have the tutorial cube that I just had to upload again. Apparently, it hit the server wrong, and so I'll upload that again and get this to everybody. It's a asset for everyone to have. And let me touch base on this one really quick, because we can do photogrammetry as well. This was 120 images of a Miwok Indian sculpture that we did for a local artist. And then this one was a bronze sculpture.
We should mention a few other software. So you can do it with LiDAR. I want to mention few ways to do it. So what Brent mentioned here, you just walk around and do photos, regular photos. You can do that, and you upload it as a batch of photos. There are also apps or software which can help you. Metascan is one of them, and also Metascan have also LiDAR embedded. It's an app that is developed by the Unreal game engine. Basically is part of their software, and it's also is free. So you can do the same thing. So if you have an iPhone or a regular phone, you can just make picture without having the LiDAR. If you want to use the LiDAR option, you need to have an iPhone Pro from the version 13 up, 13, 14, 15. And you can do that. And that also has got the QR code embedded on it as well. So basically you can just scan around and you can have that object, scan it in 3D, and after that you can export it with different formats, FBX as Brent mentioned it. So you can do that as well. Just FYI for people to know. Brent, do you want to make an example going inside an architecture? I see you start showing architecture. Yeah, so we can show you, and if we open a 3D model like a tiny house or whatever, Brett can show you how you can zoom in. Basically, you can emerge in the house, and I think that is going to be a really cool example. And obviously, you can scan the QR code as well if you like.
One great thing for architects, rather than creating 3D models, that sit on your conference table, you can actually send an actual model to your clients and say, "What do you think about this? Hey, I know you're surveying the land. Can you go take a picture of this model that we're thinking about building on the land? Actually, can you position it in a south-facing view so I can see what it looks like to look out those windows? I want to double check that we're aligning this right." And so there's a lot of functional and practical business cases aside from just art that can be used in the field, for architects and designers and contractors. This one is Sandra, you built this model, right?
Yeah, I build it. So on this
Yeah.
one, actually, it's a vacation house. Actually, I probably build. I will build the house entirely also. But the other thing, you can just zoom in. So with the pinch, as Brent mentioned, you can actually go inside the house, and when you are on the field, you scan the plane where you want to put the house. You actually modify the location of the house, left, right, up, down, and after that, the scale of the house. And in virtual, with your phone, you walk inside the house. Literally, you walk, and you can go inside the house. You move your phone toward the windows, and you're gonna see the house through the phone in AR. And outside of the windows, you see the real thing, the reality. So you'll see exactly where you want to put your house, where you want to have your windows. Now the thing is, the model is not interactive. Right now, it's a static model in the sense that you build that model, you load it, and you put it on the field, and you just walk around. Now, if you want to move the window 3 feet on the left or 3 feet on the right, you cannot do that in the model. I think in time you can do that. At least there are ways to do it, but not in the current configuration. So basically, what you need, you take the notes, you make a quick update in SketchUp. That file was made in SketchUp. You make that quick update, and you reload it as an AR. And after that, you have the changes done, but you cannot do it in AR. You need to do it outside of AR. So we need to kind
Great
of
point.
mention the limitation.
I like that a lot. That's a great point for rapid prototyping. Even in the field, or if an architect is, working on something, they could be experiencing the platform, put a model in, and then say, great, can you rescan that, reload that page? And it will automatically update the model. So someone or a surveyor who's in the field will just be like, okay, I'm on version 1.1, let me refresh it. And then when they refresh it, the new iteration of the model will be on and available. And so they would just send that QR code. I'd go into text message and I'd say, can you re-upload this or just refresh your page? And then the second they refresh their page, the new model will be there.
Brent, I also wanted to mention that this is going to be ready for when Apple comes out with the Vision Pro. You'll be able to wear that device and be able to walk through the stuff or around the stuff wearing the Vision Pro.
Al, that's such a good point. I did test out the platform on Vision Pro, and it works. We've been building this for 7 years and building out an interoperable web AR publishing platform, testing it out. When you open up any of your hyperlinks on Vision Pro, it will immediately out that model from your browser and place it in your space. And so if you're viewing your Glassdoor, and railing scene, I was going into the stats. It will bring this model out. The second you access this file, it will pop that model out of your browser and put it in your space. And we have a content management system for Vision Pro. I have not announced this on LinkedIn yet because I'm just starting to gather the beta users, and let's get some people rolling in here first, and then let's see what we can do. Because it's not about, I built out 50,000 models at this point and put them on the platform. It's not about what I can build. It's really about what you can build and what you want to build, how I can help you, launch your vision on the platform. That's my job, is to make it super easy.
Grant, I had a quick question, sir. So when you, like Sandu was saying, so if you change, like moving the window or change like the configuration of your 3D model, does it generate a different QR code, or does it just re-embed that new image on the original QR code? Or would you be able to kind of file them like version 1, version 2? I mean, I guess that's a lot of questions in one, but I guess also
No.
change with the image.
That's a great point. So in order to help the publishing industry, solve for, they've got a brochure and they just want to publish one QR code. But what if they want to update the experience that QR code goes to? Okay, so you can use that same QR code and update the content on the back end in the content management system. of what that QR code shows. So now you use one QR code for all your print and publishing, and then you can change the content on the back end. If you wanted a version 2 and you wanted to be very specific, this is version 2, I would just create a new experience and then just put your information in there, and then you'll have a new QR code, but you'll have them backed up. This one is,
Thank
no worries.
There are a few more questions on the comments. So
Okay. Yeah.
people likes the furniture. It's like an IKEA app, which is really cool. So Hain asked if there are tutorials, videos available on YouTube. I can answer quickly on this one. Those which architecture, I put myself a lot of videos how to do that. It was with SketchUp AR solution. I'm almost sure, Brad, you have also with AR on YouTube. But yes, they are on YouTube.
And to be honest,
Yep.
I'm wanting to gather enough people. I'm opening up AR Hero Academy, which is where I'm just going to be teaching this on a regular basis. I know that this platform is a Swiss Army knife that was designed to be a lot easier than Eighth Wall and Niantic. I got into that code base and any of the larger code bases, and I personally, as a developer, am overwhelmed. I'm visual. I'm tactile. I want something that's clickable and draggable, and I want to use my models visually. This is how I want to code. So we built out a platform that can do just about anything. Face filters, avatars, industrial sampling, paint on the wall, images on the wall, rugs on the ground, anything you can really think about, we can create an interactive commercial. But I know I have to teach now how to do that to make it really simple. And it's going to require a little bit of just showing, you know.
Brent, in regards to that, how does a person set up a session with you?
Contact me on LinkedIn. Do sign up go to app.arhero and just log in for an account. You're going to get a free account. You can create as many sites as you'd like. And in order to handle our server costs and things like that, we're enabling 250 viewer tokens, which means create as many sites as you want, and you'll actually get to see 250 people view your scenes. And then we can track the statistics, you can, on the back end. Who clicked through what scenes? What conversion rate did I get? How many people did this scene actually, let me go to one, you know. Oh wait, not this one. When people viewed this scene, how long did they stay? How many people viewed it? And most importantly, how many people clicked on the call to action? And so we want to help people come up with practical business applications. Feel free to reach out on LinkedIn or email us at imagine@arhero.io. I'll put it in the comments as well. And I'm really open to working with people and collaborating, and finding a way to make it work for people. So.
Also, Brent, you have been recording this, correct?
I have. Yep.
Okay, so when we finish this, you can post the recording on the comments section of the event as well. And that way, if anybody wants to watch this event or haven't seen it before, they can go on there and look at it. That would be great.
It looks like we have a couple of hands raised as well. Just kind of noticing this.
It's another question from Mohammed. Product looks excellent. Would like to ask you who will be the target customers, mostly mobile user or commuters? So where do you see your target customers?
Great question. It's kind of like the beginning of the internet. who are the customers for the internet? Are they the viewers, or are they the companies that want to showcase models and share experiences? I say yes. We're opening up the doors, and we have a couple internal industries that we're wanting to talk with. Specifically, I think our highest value proposition on the platform is allowing people to be able to experience a direct model or product and give people an increased engagement and experience with that product. So it's not push-based marketing, it's interactive permission-based marketing. People are putting the Ethan Allen couch in their space and they're like, oh my God, I don't need to see this in the showroom, I need to see this in my living room. And then that functional call to action that actually leads to a business application where you can click on it and purchase, the couch, or put a rug on your ground, or buy an art print, with print on demand. So these functional business applications, I think, are going to push the industry versus just the nice to have AR. And so we've connected practical engagement with functional business applications.
Now, talking about the business application, so I'll make a quick example here. This is a 3D rocket, ship, spaceship, whatever. What I did with that one, similar as Brad is saying, I built it in 3D, and I was intending to see it in AR first to have a good sense how it's looking and all that good stuff. And after that, obviously, I could tweak it. I could make changes, like I didn't like, for instance, the shape of the wing or the engines. I didn't like them, so I need to change it. But the best way to do it is also to go in AR and kind of look around to have the sense. Of course, you can do with other products as well, but AR is giving the sense because you can zoom in, go out, and do all those fine-tune adjustments as you need it. So that is pretty cool.
Totally. Oh, I'll stay on that one for just a second. And there's another hand raised, I think 3. This one has spatial audio, and so we do have audio in our experiences as well. Spatial audio means a sound file can be placed with spatial computing actually in your space. And so if I put a sound file 10 feet out, I can actually have it get louder as I walk closer to it. This one is an interesting juxtaposition for an Android and iOS, because for an iPhone, it's going to open up an old motorcycle in front, and it's going to cycle through all of Harley Davidson's motorcycle engines with spatial audio with the logo in the background. But for Android, Androids don't have spatial audio quite yet in our platform, so it's just a 3D model.
But it's PNG. Back to our first discussion.
No, this one is actually a 3D model.
Oh, 3D. Okay, because I see the back. If you see the back, it's in reverse. But yeah, I see what you're saying. It's 3D. That's the reason when you rotate it from the back, you see the back of the 3D model itself. Correct?
It looks very similar to the PNG, but actually, I'll show you. I built this out of logo, and it's actually extruding various layers of the PNG. So you're on to part of the technique in the Kung Fu, where you extrude various layers of the PNG and you make it an STL model, and then you skin those various layers to give the gold effect versus the black effect.
On the hand raise, Eric, why don't you unmute and ask your question, please? Eric, can you unmute? How about Margarita?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, welcome.
Okay. Hi, I'm sorry for the noise because I'm in a conference and I don't have any place to go to escape the noise. So I'll try to be quick. I have a question about the ones that are animations, the video ones, because I tried to see on my phone, but it took a little long to roll out the animation. So I don't know if it's about my internet connection or it's about it has a time to load the AR? That's my question. And the other thing I just wanted to say that I've been working with augmented reality for since 2014, doing apps. Like I was doing the UX UI for augmented reality apps. And I always were very fascinated about this part of the thing, the programming of the real stuff. And I'm just mesmerized looking at this, and I think it's great. And I just wanted to give you my congrats. Yeah, it's
Oh,
awesome.
oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
You're
It's going
welcome.
to take people who see and want to apply this now and be like, oh, game on. I want to grab a hold of that and make, amazing experiences. That's the fire I'm trying to light. So welcome aboard. Thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful, because I'm doing also last month I finished the first part of the project that we are doing with the city council here in Portugal. And we are integrating augmented reality in our project to the mayor, to give a proximity with the mayor and the citizens, using augmented reality. And we are seeing solutions, and I think this is great. Maybe we can talk later, but yeah, nice.
Yeah, I'd like to do this on a weekly basis and actually have this kickstart the AR Hero Academy, and then just do this on a weekly basis, gather, talk about different use cases, get people using the platform, teaching how to do it, deconstructing how to do various projects during the week. That's my hope and dream, because it really is together we rise. That's how this is going to work.
Actually, it's a good point, Brad. Maybe we can explain the real applications. For instance, matching the color for a wall if you want to paint the house, for example. That is really cool application, actually. So
yeah. Well, let me touch on just education, for just a second. Anything in the space. Lance, you're a teacher and principal, bringing these kids' imagination, to life. Putting this moon here, scan this moon, and people can bring this moon in their space and put it in their hand. When I built out 50,000 models at this point, and I'm still like giddy like a schoolboy when I can put the moon in my hand in under 60 seconds and actually build out that AR experience on my platform. And actually, I can rebrand the moon and put my logo on the moon, which I've done, and things like that. And you can make it so you can go zoom in the moon and go inside the moon. It lights a fire of imagination into seeing what's possible. So and yeah, from the industrial application side, let me touch on a couple of these. Jason, do you have anything? I'm not sure if you're still even on. Do you have anything in your bucket? Is Jason still on?
I am still here, Brent. I would just say that there was the tag one, the industrial pipe tag. I saw that somewhere. The LiDAR
Also,
one.
Eric,
Yes, I can unmute.
Please go ahead.
This is all fascinating, and thanks so much for sharing this. I was fascinated when you talked about going into the model, going into the house that Sandu designed, and you just talked about going inside the moon. Now, where do those images come from? Are you creating the inside images as well? Are the images kind of auto-generated? Like, how does that happen?
the 3D model itself had already all the texture. So there are two steps here. The first step is to create the assets which you want to see in AR. That asset could be done as an image, it could be done as a 3D model. There are different ways of posting the 3D model, either as just the meshes, basically without the textures, so we can have it STL, like the 3D print, or OBJ. Or if you want to add the textures, as I did, I built the model in SketchUp, but can be anything else. Could be plasticity, could be Blender, could be AutoCAD, whatever. And after that, you export that model. And ideally, you should optimize the model in the platform where you build it in 3D. So all the optimization, which I did, for example, I did directly in SketchUp. But those could be done separate. Basically, optimize the textures and so on. That is what Brent mentioned. He can do that optimization as well. So that's the first step, have that asset. And after that, you load the assets as Brent showed here in AR Hero. And with AR Hero, you have the links and also the capability to present the asset to different clients on different environments. You can show it in an office room, say, hey guys, look, this is how the house looks like. Or even better, you go on the field, I'm loading the model in the field, and with the client side by side, we walk just looking to the phone, and we'll go inside of the house. And actually, I made on YouTube, I made a video for that. If you like, I can post it here in the comments. But that 3D model is done on a separate platform. It's not done in AR. But AR can help you with that, can help you optimize it.
But you're creating the interior images as well.
That's correct. It's part of the 3D model. So it's not interior images or exterior. It was part of the 3D model. So when I did the walls, I put a color for the wall. Okay, inside was white, outside was also white, but you can change it. So all those textures, they were done in the 3D model.
Gotcha. And as far as going inside the moon, Brand, how did those images get created?
This is a very complex scene. So you talk about building out one actor versus building out an entire theater again. So an android, I can show just the moon or one actor, whereas in the entire theater, I have the Earth, the moon rotating around the Earth, and then I also built out the cosmos as a sphere with an internal texture, but not an external texture. So you're actually looking at, and when you open up this scene, it will open it up and it'll put you in this giant bubble. And so you appear to be in virtual reality when you're in augmented reality. You're subsumed, your entire, but if you pinch it down, you actually notice, oh, I'm in a sphere.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can actually take your phone and navigate. I'll show the QR code to this one. You can navigate, and if you navigate to the Earth, you can navigate inside of the Earth. And I put a little Easter egg in there for the Hollow Earth nod, that the texture of the Earth is also on the inside, and it's a different texture of the Earth versus the outside. But imagine like the outside of a sphere versus the inside of a sphere.
Right.
And then inside of that, I have one of my sculptures, floating, that is an Easter egg and so very involved. But this is one of those things that I can, you can build that out in Blender, or I can also teach you how to do that, or I can build it out for you in Reality Composer.
Thank you. Fascinating.
Yeah.
Sherry, how about your comment?
Give me 1 second.
Yeah, if Brand doesn't mind.
Hi, how are you? Oh, sorry.
Welcome.
Sorry, I clicked on that video and it was playing and I had to shut it off. Hi, how are you?
Hey, welcome.
Hi, I came a bit late and I'm not familiar with the AR space much at all. So I just have a quick question. As a Midjourney artist, which is 2D work, could you just tell me what opportunities there are with this for me?
Absolutely. Yeah. In under a minute, you can turn your Midjourney art into augmented reality experiences.
Awesome.
And so, I'm gonna go to that one. I like that one. This is one I did recently on Dolly that I really liked how it worked. Again, a PNG, file. You can do a JPEG.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can bring this into your space. And it's just
okay. But for the 3D effect, I would have to build it
For the 3D effect, you build it in 3D, or
There's, I can help you over there if you want, Brent.
Yes.
yeah, sure.
So there are several ways to do it. Depends what's the 3D model. If it's organics, like a character and so on, you can use CSM. So that software is giving you all around 3D model. Now, if you want like one of those cars, you see that car which is over there. The problem which you have when you look from a 2D image, you don't see the back of that car because you have only the point of view from front. So in order to optimize that, you can do it as a trick, making this as a 2.5. So basically use another software, Zoe Depth or LeaPix, which is going to bring you the depth of that machine toward you. So each distance of the pixel brings you toward you, and you just cut that in half because it's symmetrical, and you put the symmetry on the other side. So in that way, you solve it. Basically, you use a trick using the symmetry of the object, and in that case, you solve also the back. So that is another way to do it. Again, you can do it for the characters as well because they are symmetrical. When it's not symmetrical, like for instance, a scene for a 3D model, what I did, I put that image on the back as a reference, and you can build it in Blender, either using an image reference to match the perspective. It's a software called F-Spine. So you have that to have the perspective lines, and you build it from there. Or you use Match Photo in SketchUp, which is pretty much the same thing. Basically, I have a photo as a reference. I'm taking the perspective lines, and I'm building my house based on that image reference. And on the back, of course, I don't have the back information, but being directly in 3D, I'm just building up. And the good part is you can project the textures to the image. You can do that in Blender. And therefore, you have a 3D model with the texture on it. And after that, you can do whatever you want in Blender. For instance, you can do animations. You can use it as a particle. If you want to have cars moving left to right, you can duplicate the car, and you can do like an animated scene like on the street and the corner of a street if you want to do that. And you do it in AR directly. And with AR Hero, you load that, and you can have that experience in 3D, basically. It's kind of a Metascan intro, if you want, in a metaverse. So you are not fully immersed. It's only AR. You put the augmented reality on top of the reality. In my opinion, that's the future. That means I'm not seeing people completely disconnected from the reality, but I do see it doing augmented reality, basically coming with virtual assets over the real world. And there are a ton of opportunities to use that technology everywhere, basically in all the industry, especially in construction. So, but they are everywhere, real estate and so on.
This is we're going over the hour, but I don't think that's a problem because there's a lot of interest and people are raising their hand, and I'd like Lance to ask his question too. But if anybody else wants to raise a question, please raise your hand, and then we'll just ask you to unmute. Okay, so we'll hang in there for a little bit.
I just want to throw one tiny question in. Is this usable with Runway at all? Because I've been experimenting in Runway.
Possibly, and you'll have to I'm a big fan of learning additional techniques in Kung Fu and how it all works together.
Right.
Are you wanting to use it for video creation, ideally?
Yeah, like I could see certain things that could be useful if I could piece it together, because Runway's so
But
perky.
Sherry, on what sense was Runway? Just to take the video, taking the MP4 or AVI, basically taking the video itself? Because you can run that as a, as you see the image, you can do like a virtual TV screen if you want in AR, and the movie can run on that TV screen because the movie itself can run in AR, but it's going to be more like a frame, it's like a rectangle where the movie runs over there.
Okay. You know what? I'm not sure I'm asking the right question, but
Yeah, let's circle back to it because I'm going to keep that in my mind. And we'll like this is part of the academy. We talked about we're going to have an AR Hero Academy. Let's bring these ideas and talk about like, hey, what if? Could we integrate this with this? We'll figure it out.
okay. Thank you.
I want to highlight one thing really quick is that we also have showcase page, which is going to be our community feed showcase page where we're highlighting, the top projects that are in the platform, as well as a favorite page, which is your personal feed. And so I'm imagining this in the future like Pinterest, where you have your community feed where you can kind of get eyes on your projects and you're like, ooh, I want people to see this model. But you also have your personal page where you can send it to people with your own URL. And so we're thinking about all of these things and building it out in the platform. Yeah, it's just going to take the community and the dojo to bring it to life. Lance, you have a question, and Mohammed, I'm not sure who was first.
Hey, Mr. Brand, I just wanted you to see if you could pull up the document that you did, the flip side, so you can see the front and the back of the document in that application, because I think that was really cool.
You got it. Even if that in showcase collections. So we talk about, why we built this. We built this for the marketer, the salesperson, and the business owner who wasn't a coder, who actually wanted just increased engagement, increased conversion, and increased return on investment. Because they don't want to focus on AR, they actually just want to engage more clients. And so we're seeing 800% increased engagement in AR. People are just ravished by like being able to move around in their space. Sorry, this is automatically flipping. I should actually just go in and I'll show you how easy it is. I don't like that animation that's happening, so I'm going to go in and no autoplay animation, preview, save. And so
Yeah, so here you change the properties, Lens. You ask if you want for the 3D model to move the window on the right a little bit. So basically that's what Brent was doing in the back end. You can change the new model over there and it's the same QR code because the reference for the QR code was back and change it. You follow? Yeah, really cool.
So I can,
yeah, no. I was curious if you can bring also the cube with the pinch examples so people can see, how to rotate, how to zoom in, zoom out. It looks like some people missed that. You have that initial cube sample. Yeah, this one.
Yeah. So unfortunately, this one isn't loading if you click on the QR code right now. I just need to do a little bit of troubleshooting on but let me look on the back and we can just at least learn how we do it. And so if you want to scale up or scale down an image, like we'll do with Alice T-Rex, it'll appear like really big in front of you because I didn't load in the scene, or when I built out the scene, I just brought the model in. I was going to put it right in the middle of the anchor. I really needed, my favorite place is to put things out about 50 centimeters or 100 centimeters out from you. And so about, half a meter. So you have a little bit of space to orient to a model. It kind of gives you, versus it being like right in front of you. But if something's really big, just scale it down. Take 2 fingers and pinch down. And if you want to zoom it up, take 2 fingers and zoom it up really big. And these properties can also be set through scale. So if a model, if a ruler is, 1 foot long, we can actually set that to be 100% of the model. And someone knows that if they expand it to 1,000%, they're going to get 10 times the size of the ruler. But if it's 100%, it's actually true scale. And so that's how we work around true scale images. I'll take one finger.
Yeah, Mohammed, what's your question, please?
Yes, thanks for this opportunity, Bigal. Brand, I'm really happy to see the AR Hero. Actually, it's a long time I have seen the word AR Hero, and I was really happy to see the branding. Actually, I was really impressed, and I wanted to reach out to someone who has. I wanted to see the website, and I want to see the interface. And I have also gone through before this session. I have gone through the encephalogram integration with the AR and the mixed reality. How these integrations will help people get immersed and interact with their neuro gaming or the materialistic products or the services which they offer. I believe in education also, the AR will definitely help to understand the solar system or different geometrics of the shapes and these things. And I'm also happy to see the sensitivity of the image when I was able to see it in the camera view. The image also came out really well, and compared to other e-commerce image generating AR applications. This also has really great power and it is really very precise. So my question is like, what all products do you have? Like, what all case studies have you taken, and where are the real time products of this? I see it is being like a private labeled AR toolkit for a child, but I want to see how what teaching methodologies or what kind of game involvement or what kind of learning thing or what engagement can we have from this?
Yeah, totally. We're pushing the envelope, and I almost like apologize to the world for keeping so quiet about what we're. I feel like Tesla, who's been in a laboratory and finally like, okay, we transmit energy, kind of thing, and I'm finally just inviting the world out to the platform. As I said, we've built out hundreds of use cases, over 50,000 models. Interactive brochures are a great use case if we're looking at like, how do we make money as creators? How do we help our clients add value to their business so that we as creators can make money? E-commerce is a great one. Experiential events at museums, at art festivals, at local scavenger hunts, tourism guides, great. Immersive products have not really been explored and pushed to their envelope. T-shirts that come to life. Put a QR code, connect it to AR Hero, and now you have your Midjourney T-shirt of your print with a QR code that brings that to life. You can have spatial audio telling about your vision for this, this image, and then the call to action goes to your Instagram, your Twitter, your LinkedIn tree, to find out more information. I'm working with a special needs school and created in ChatGPT a choose your own adventure for them. And so ChatGPT 4 has a choose your own adventure where each one of the choices is to a Midjourney or a DALL-E prompt, where they can take that DALL-E prompt and create an image for that narratives of the scene. And then from there, we create an AR experience so that their choose your own adventure comes to life in their space.
Well, Brent, I think that we're starting to lose people and everything, and we were running about 20 minutes over what was scheduled. I just want to say I am delighted that we did this, and I'm delighted to be able to get to know somebody who's as excited about what they do as I am excited about what I do. And so, I really like the idea of you doing a weekly session like this. Hopefully not at 12 o'clock on Friday, but
yeah, right.
Find a time that works and let people do this, because this is such a big thing, and has so much potential, and I think that the more people that get involved, the better it's going to be. So I thank you very much for your time and efforts on this today, and just delighted that we could do this together. So Thank you very much.